It all started on a Friday night. Inola went out to club with the boys as usual. They all drank, danced at the party. All of a sudden, Inola fell and became unconscious. His friends were scared and terrified. They tried all they could to revive him, but Inola wasn't waking up. They now rushed Inola to the hospital. Meanwhile, Inola is a married man. He is married to Nike, an industrious woman who doesn't depend on her husband for any financial aid. Nike owned a clothing business, which is doing very well for her. Inola and Nike are a happily married couple whom everyone admired. Inola came from a very rich home and is the only son and child of his parents. He has always been pampered while growing up, and Inola always gets whatever he wants, as far as he did not request for it. When Inola met Nike, the parents agreed without any issues. It surprised Nike, but she took it as nothing. It is really rare to see a very rich family marrying a girl from a poor home. But in Nike's case, they accepted her without looking down on her. In fact, they upgraded Nike's family lifestyle to their own level without even being asked. This surprised Nike, but on a second note, not everybody is the same. Some people who came from rich home also have a very good mind. So she thought they were one of them and accepted Inola as her husband with faith. After they got married, Nike used her whole savings to start a clothing business. Nike has always been a girl that works for everything she has. And by the time Inola came into her life, she maintained the same energy. She used her own hard-earned money and started a clothing business. With prayers and strategy, her business boomed very well. Inola is never the kind of person that asks personal questions. So, he didn't bother to ask Nike about her business, how the business is doing, how it is booming, and how far the business is progressing. He didn't bother to ask, and Nike didn't even bother to tell him anything about the business. Inola provides for the house, and he also gives Nike's parents monthly allowance. But he doesn't give Nike any monthly allowance. Nike at first wondered why he wouldn't give her any money, even for her own personal upkeep. At first, it bothered her, but as time goes on, she didn't think much about it. She doesn't want to ask so that she won't sound greedy. After all, Inola is already paying her parents monthly allowance. Why then bother him? Nike, being a girl that worked hard for her own money, decided not to bother Inola. She started using her money to foot some of her personal needs. Inola, being the kind of person who loves to hang out with his friends on the weekends, Nike had no issues with that. He has always been like that while they were dating. And even after they got married, he still maintained it. And Nike had no issues with it. Nike would always stay at home during the weekend. She would clean the house by herself, cook, rest. Nike also has a cousin sister. She is so close to her. And her cousin sister always come during the weekends to help her out with the house chores and also chat and discuss as good sisters and best friends. Her cousin sister Ronke was never a threat to her marriage. Ronke is a well brought up girl, and Nike didn't have any reason to suspect her or not to trust her own cousin sister in her own matrimonial home. Few years into the marriage, Nike gave birth to two kids for her husband. And in all of this, their marriage is still going smoothly and had no issues. Ronke still visited during the weekends to assist her sister, while Inola still maintained his lifestyle, going to club with the boys, without even minding that he's now a married man. One weekend, Ronke came to the house and saw Nike lying down running temperature. Her body was hot. Ronke asked her if she has gone to the hospital. Nike said no. She then asked about her husband. Nike told Ronke that her husband left very early in the morning of that day, that his parents called and they say it was an emergency, so he had to leave. Ronke was surprised and shocked at the same time, and she didn't want to interfere in her sister's life. Ronke had to rush to the nearest pharmacy, and when she got there, she explained what was wrong and they gave her drugs. Afterwards, Nike took the drugs and she got better. Ronke was worried for her sister. Nike, she called out to her, "Are you sure you know what you are doing at all? Did you marry this man you call your husband for money, or you loved him and he loved you back? Because I don't see any connection between the two of you. Or am I just overthinking it? So, Nike, your husband saw you down like this. Your body is so hot and he still left you to go answer his parents. Ah, can't it wait until he attends to you? Can't he rush and take you to the hospital? From the hospital, he can now rush and see his parents and come back. Why did he leave you in this condition and go and see his parents? Ha, Nike, this your marriage. Ever since you got married, there are some strange things I'm saying, but you choose not to say it. Every time I bring up the issue, you choose to make me feel as if I'm overthinking it or I am doing too much. But girl, this is becoming overbearing. You need to discuss with your husband though. Why is he taking his parents first before you? Does your life not matter to him? Nike, as usual, told her not to overthink things, that she's used to always exaggerating and putting things where it should not be. Nike told Ronke that her husband is their only child, so she understand. Ronke didn't bother pushing forward. She ended the discussion. She decided to spend the night and take care of her. Late at night, they were both seated at the couch watching a television program when Nike's phone rang, and it was an unknown number. Nike picked up the phone, wondering who could be calling her at that time of the night with an unknown number, and she was informed when she picked up the call that her husband collapsed at the club. How? Nike's eyes widened in shock. She couldn't believe her ears. "Where is he?" she asked. "Which hospital? Is my husband okay?" The caller gave her only the hospital name. And Nike begged Ronke, her sister, to look after the kids so she would go to the said hospital. She left in a hurry, and when Nike got to the hospital, she was informed by the doctor that her husband was brought in unconscious, and they were still running some tests to know the actual cause of his problem. The doctor gave Nike the good news that they were able to stabilize him, but he's still unconscious. Nike asked the doctor if she can see her husband. The doctor said yes, but just that he's still unconscious. Nike became confused. "But Inola left in a hurry in the morning based on an emergency. I was there. His mother called. How did he now end up in the club? He didn't even bother to come and check on me when he knew he left me in such a condition. How did he even get to the club? What is going on? He left me unattended to, even when he knew I was sick this morning. God, save me from my enemies." Nike waited for the test results And when it was out, the doctor confirmed that her husband Inola has kidney failure due to his bad lifestyle of drinking too many alcohol and expensive wine and mixing of drinks. Nike was shocked. Kidney failure? Doctor, how? He was perfectly fine and okay when we left the house in the morning. The doctor told her that physical appearances doesn't determine that someone is physically fit. So, please, do the needful. Do something. Your husband's condition is very bad and critical. Nike, still shocked at what she's discovering, called her husband's family, Inola's parents, and told them the situation at hand. They rushed to the hospital immediately they heard what happened. And when they got there, they decided to give their kidney, but they were too old to donate and still make it alive. Even when the doctor ran some tests on them, they weren't compatible. Inola's parents begged Nike to do the test, which she did, and she was confirmed to be compatible to give her kidney to her husband. Inola's parents begged her to give her husband one kidney and prove his love for her husband in these trying times. Nike agreed instantly. She went home the next day and told Ronke what happened at the hospital. And Ronke was so angry at her. Wait, why would you agree to do such a thing? Nike, my sister, please, did these people fry your brain or what? Are you not the mother to Enola's children? Nike, please, do not give Inola this kidney. What if something goes bad? Who will take care of these children? Your in-laws? And you think they will take care of your child more than you? Ha! Why are your in-laws so inconsiderate like this? Nike assured Ronke that everything is under control. Inola is my husband, Ronke. He's my love. I would do anything for him. Do you know how this man have changed my life and my family's life? Ronke tried to warn her not to do it, but Nike is in love, and love, they say, is truly blind. She prepared for the surgery, and finally, she gave her husband one of her kidneys. Both of them survived. To God be the glory. Nike's life returned back to normal. Also her husband's. She then continued her business back and taking care of her children. Even Inola, her husband, loved her the more. He bought her gifts, gifted her a lot of things, take them on expensive trip. Every time that he's coming back from work, Inola would bring gifts. Their marriage became sweeter. It was as if they were a newly married couple. Inola pampered Nike, spoilt her. But just after 3 months, everything died down. Inola started his weekend groove with his friends and busy schedule at work, leaving Nike to do everything by herself as usual, taking care of the kids, doing chores, even though they can afford to pay someone to do the chores at home. Inola disagreed and asked Nike not to bring in a maid inside the house, that he doesn't want strangers in his home. Nike agreed and took up all the responsibility of the home and the children all to herself. And that is why Ronke, Nike's cousin, would always come every weekend to help her out. Now, Nike started to seek for attention from her husband. Inola would always say, I am busy. Oh. I have a very busy schedule this week. I have an important meeting. My parents need my presence now. Inola started to give Nike too much excuses, and Nike started to get tired of it. And she starts to adapt to her new reality. She would complain to Ronke, who already lost words to say to her. Nike doesn't listen no matter the advice Ronke gives her. She never takes them. So Ronke decided to mind her business. But still, it does not work. Nike will always come with her. All her frustration, she will be pouring it on Ronke. And Ronke will try all she could to reason with her. But no, she will still not take the advice Ronke is giving her. And she would always come back to complain. Something strange happened one very evening. Ronke and Nike was in the kitchen cooking when suddenly Nike failed and became unconscious. Ronke was shocked. She screamed her name, no way. Tapped her as hard as she could, no way. Ronke then decided to try to wake her up. Still, Nike refused to wake up. Ronke then rushed her to the hospital, and when she got there, Ronke started to call Nike's husband Inola, but he didn't pick up. And when he finally did, Ronke told him the emergency and what was going on. Inola told Ronke he has an important meeting that he needs to attend to, and he would be there as soon as he can. Ronke waited all night, but Inola did not show up. This bothered Ronke. By God's gratefulness, Nike woke up the next morning. Ronke was so happy and grateful to God for saving her sister's life. Then the doctor came and told Ronke and Nike that her vitals are doing well, but she's stressed. And also, she has high BP, high blood pressure, and it could kill. But God saved her. The doctor then advised Nike not to stress herself too much because she has kids to take care of and she shouldn't stress at all. Stress kills. Ronke appreciated the doctor and she was so happy. Finally, her sister is alright. I am so happy. But Nike, do you know I called your husband since yesterday? He said he has an emergency meeting and he would be here. Up till now, your husband did not come. And he didn't even call me to know how you are doing. Nike, is this the same husband you speak so highly of all the time? You will always sing his praises up and down. Making noise on my ear. If this man can do this kind of thing, Nike, he cares less about you or your health. Why? When I called him yesterday, the first thing he should have done is to come here, running, as his feet could carry him, showing concern that he cares about you, his wife, and the mother of his children. But no, he chose his business and work over you. See, the same man you donated your kidney for. I warned you, but you didn't listen. But now see for yourself. He doesn't care about you at all. After all you did for him. Nike, think about this. Nike was quiet for a while and didn't say anything to Ronke. She was deeply, deeply hurt and she was thinking about what Ronke said to her. First time in history, she reasoned what her sister said to her. But it's true. Ronke, Inola's attitude have even changed. I don't know my husband anymore. So, if to say I have issues with the surgery, this is how he would abandon me to suffer alone? Hey! Thank God though. My sister's eyes has finally opened. Ronke shouted, now you know that your husband has been pretending to love you all this while. Even when you wanted to marry this guy, I discouraged you. I told you, Nike, this guy is very wealthy. What is all this showering of money? They were really using money to like shut you up. But you thought money is love. Aww, Shebi, you have seen it now. I'm not saying that the family is bad though, but you know my gift. If I see something is wrong, something is wrong. The way they came, accepted you, do not banter anything. Nike, I told you something was wrong. These people, they are too good to be true. But no, you were in love. Hmm? My husband Inola loves me. Are you seeing it now? I don't want to blame you, Nike. You've made your choice and I've always stood by you as your sister. Eh? Only if you listen to me, oh. You are busy doing my love, my love. As if you are the only one in love and has a husband. Anyways, I have a plan, oh. If only you will listen. Nike played along and told her to proceed. Ronke told her to use this opportunity and pretend that the surgery she did had complications and see if her husband would react in a very positive way. If he would show the same love she showed him when he was sick. Nike agreed to the plan and Ronke proceeded to the doctor's office. She pleaded with the doctor who refused but gave her another plan to use someone who is not a doctor but pretend to be a doctor. Because if he follows that plan, he would lose his license if anything goes bad. Ronke agreed and the doctor brought someone. She paid the person to act like a doctor. That morning, after Nike woke up, Eniola managed to come to the hospital and he met the fake doctor who told him what has happened. Eniola felt really sad and bad. He then told Nike that he's coming, that he needs to go make some arrangements and also talk to his parents about the situation on ground. Eniola left and Ronke told Nike to watch out. That Eniola, her husband, won't come back to the hospital again. Can't you see his expression? Nike stayed for another day and Eniola never showed up again. Nike was so disappointed and she decided to go home. She was discharged and when Nike got home, she was shocked to see her husband eating food brought from a restaurant at the same time watching football. He cared less. She even noticed that the husband employed a nanny to be taking care of the kids. Nike greeted him and he answered casually. He managed to ask Nike about her health and Nike replied that she's not well, but she was discharged and placed on bed rest with plenty drugs. Nike then asked him why he didn't come back to the hospital as he promised and why he never called or even picked his calls when she was calling him. Inola said to her that he was busy and casually apologized again. Still, eating his food and watching television, feeling less concerned. Nike was shocked. She entered her room, stood there, still shocked. Nike, you are a fool. You are a very big fool. Why didn't I listen to Ronke, my sister? She warned me I would regret this decision. Now, I am the fool, the foolish one who sacrificed herself. My husband couldn't even show little sympathy, even when the doctor scared him and told him I might lose my life. Fear man, what will I do now? I'm on the loose end though. I need to talk to Ronke. The next day in the morning, Enola's parents arrived Nike's house. Nike welcomed them. She was so happy to see them. She thought they came to see her based on the fact that she faked her own health. Not until Nike turns towards the door and saw a young lady standing by the door. Nike asked her mother-in-law who the lady is and why she's still standing instead of sitting down. Nike's mother-in-law said to her, "Oh, Bola, her name is Bola. My son Inola complained about you not doing your marital rights because of your condition, my daughter. See, I understand. I understand you, my beautiful daughter-in-law. I understand how you feel and what you are going through. Inola told us everything and we really sympathize with you. How is your health?" Nike answered that she's better than she was yesterday. They gave her bed rest and they gave her plenty of drugs. Nike told her mother-in-law that she noticed that they now have a nanny. Yes, the mother-in-law affirmed, yes, we employed a nanny so that they could take care of the kids and actually bring down the lot of responsibility from your shoulder. And also, we were employing someone who will help with the chores and the cleaning of the house. Nike was so happy. Wow, this family truly loves me. She started to greet her mother-in-law and thank her for everything she has been doing. But the mother-in-law told her that she's not done talking. Oh. She should calm down. Let her introduce her to Bola. Then, the mother-in-law continued, my daughter, I've seen how your condition is affecting your marriage. Eh? I don't want your marriage to tear apart though. And I don't want your husband to be looking outside. That is why we made this important decision on your behalf. Eh? This is Bola and she is the second wife of this family. Nika stood there frozen in shock. She was in so much shock and couldn't even talk. Her mother-in-law continued, you see this Bola, she's fully equipped. This lady will help you in cooking and also in servicing your husband now, since you are so down to do so. And you know our son can be starved of good sex and food. Eh? He complained a lot that for the past 3 days, I've not been able to perform your rights as a woman and as a wife. My dear, instead of your husband to be looking outside, we decided to bring in a second wife for him. Eh? Please, don't be angry. Oh. Please just understand the predicament and the condition. We are doing this all for your sake. As you can see, the children already have a nanny. Hey, you acknowledge that and you were even happy. They have a nanny now. And since they have a nanny, you don't have any other thing to be worried about. You are good to go, my daughter. Nike was very traumatized by what she just heard. She turned and entered her room without saying any other thing to her mother-in-law. Nike didn't argue with her in-laws or disagree that the lady won't enter the house. As Inola entered the room and met his wife in tears, he only said to Nike, see, tears won't stop any of these things from happening. No. Eh? You've not given me your body for the past 3 days in the name that you are sick. I begged you. You told me that you're not feeling well. You're not feeling well. They say you should get better. I had to report to my parents, and this is the best solution they could come up with. And this your tears cannot stop them from bringing in a new wife who will perform your duties for you. After all, we are doing you a favor. Instead of me to go out there carrying different women, we decided to keep it sacred by bringing just one woman. You should be grateful, Nike. Now, we have a chef, we have a cleaner, and we have a nanny that takes care of the children. So all you have to do is to take care of yourself and try to see how you can be able to come up and get off this sickness that is happening to you. I feel very lonely in this house, as if I'm not married. It's only you and your sister up and down. As if Nike have not heard enough for the day. Her husband now came and add more salt to her injury. Nike still didn't reply Inola. Next thing, Inola said to her, you will need to move out of the room. Oh. Nike, please, you need to pack your things and move to the next room so that my new wife can enter this room. Let me enjoy her. Nike quietly started packing her things to move out of the room. Inola found it very strange that Nike didn't argue or object to anything he said to her. He went straight to his mother and called her by the side. Mama, there is something wrong. Oh. Abi, did you notice anything strange about Nike, my wife? Oh, her reaction, right? Don't worry, my son. She's a nobody. You picked her up from the gutters, cleaned her up, even her family. They cleaned her family up. Why are you bothering yourself? She will accept her fate because she has a lot to lose if she messes up. That is why I told you to marry a nobody. That person will be so dependent on you. And always they would know that they have a lot to lose. Your wife, Nike, knows that she has a lot to lose. So don't worry, my son. Enjoy your new wife. Nike will do nothing. She would accept her fate with time. Those words gave Inola more courage and power to start misbehaving and do anyhow towards Nike. Will Nike accept this kind of disrespect and harsh treatment from her own in-laws? Or will she fight back and teach her husband, plus her mother-in-law, a very good lesson? Let us find out in the next and final episode of the story. Please give this story a big thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and subscribe if you have not. Do not forget to share with your friends. Share, 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 share. It's a very interesting story and they would enjoy it. You can also support me by buying me a coffee. The link is on the description of this story and on the bio of this channel. See you on the final episode of the story. Goodbye and God bless you.